House managers began their third and final day of opening statements, wrapping up their case on Article 1, abuse of power, and then focusing on Article 2, obstruction of Congress. Now, Saturday, the president's legal team will take the lectern in his defense. Natalie Brand's on Capitol Hill. She has a look at what went on today and what lawmakers are expecting to hear from the president's team tomorrow.
The Senate will now hear you.
House managers entered their final day of presenting their case that President Trump should be removed from office.
The question for you is whether it's okay for the president to withhold taxpayer money, aid for our ally, our friend at war, for a personal political benefit.
President Trump tried to cheat. He got caught, and then he worked hard to cover it up.
Anticipation is already building for the president's lawyers, who will begin their opening arguments in a rare Saturday session.
I'm going to be really anxious to hear from the president's lawyers. Are the president's lawyers going to try to rebut the factual case?
I think they're just going to explain what the president was doing his job.
The president's defense team is expected to wrap up early next week, leaving senators 16 hours to ask both sides questions. Then the body could revisit calls for more witnesses. Lead House manager Adam Schiff suggested Chief Justice John Roberts could weigh in.
We have a very capable justice sitting in that Senate chamber, empowered by the Senate rules to decide issues of evidence and privilege.
The Senate can vote to overrule those determinations, and it's unclear if 4 Republicans would vote with Democrats to approve witnesses.
If the prosecution gets a witness, the defense should as well. In other words, if the prosecution gets to call John Bolton, then the president should get to call Hunter Biden.
So far, Senate Democrats have shot down calls for a witness swap. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, the president weighed in on Twitter today, saying the do-nothing Democrats just keep repeating and repeating over and over again the same old stuff on the impeachment hoax.